Santa Clara as we are situated at Levi's Stadium. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. 2-1-2 teams, each hoping to get back to 500, and we're underway in Week 4. Ray McCloud to return. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's 2nd down.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, Kai just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
On 1st down, it's Mitchell. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of 1st downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down. Hands it off out of the gun. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Well, this rivalry, Charles, the Seahawks and Niners, really one of the best in the NFL. So many great games in the last decade or so between these two. Where does this one rank for you in terms of best rivalries of, let's say, the 21st century?
I'm so glad you phrased it that.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they prove their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, it's earned it by their play. The psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. They fake the give. Now Kaepernick. Being chased out left. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
And that guy just keeps getting better. And I'm talking about Tyler Lockett, who just made that nice catch there for a 1st down. Now in his 7th season with Seattle, last year may have been his finest yet. And even 100 catches, many of them of the spectacular variety. Paired with DK Metcalf, a heck of a dynamic duo for the Seahawks.
There to make the tackle, Samson Abuka.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, They also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw, Kaepernick. And incomplete on the deep ball.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. On play action, it's Kaepernick. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Samson Ebukam with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
McLeod now on the return. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that.
And he works free. And he's finally taken down. And it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. From the gun, they'll try to run it. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26. A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. And they'll run on the inside handoff. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. Now a handoff here to his running back. Oh, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. The 49ers are going to turn over to the special teams crew. The field goal unit is out there now. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And his kick is good. Not by much. It was leaking oil in the end, but he tucks it in the bottom right corner. And that will tie us at 3-3. So good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Fielded right around the 8. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Early on, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
On play action, it's Kaepernick. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Eric Armstead able to record his 5th sack of the season. Here's 3rd and long. Kaepernick needing a big play to counteract the sack. Now back to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
I like what they tried to do there. Tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a 1st down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
A 57-yard punt, 11 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. It's Mitchell, and he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Strong right. Gotta do better. Come on,
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
They'll pass up a field goal attempt. It would have been a 45-yarder. Now they'll go for it on 4th. And try to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. Kyle Shanahan, an offensive mind, but his guys stopped up short. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense. Get a couple of...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And the 49ers are going to get the football here at their own 20. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a fourth down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
Deebo Samuel was a revelation for the 49ers in their run to the NFC Championship in his rookie year of 2019. Injuries kept him to just 7 games last year, but he brings a dimension of creativity when he's out on the field. He makes a nice catch there for a first down.
Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3. 31's the mic. Watch the run, watch the run.
Now Lance. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Mitchell. That catch good for only a couple.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Off of play action, here's Lance. This will be caught. It's Samuel. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He hit his first, this one from 38. And it bangs off the right upright, no good. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, a combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins from the 6. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They'll try the left side. It's Mitchell. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Mitchell pushes him aside at the 10. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 68 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Right back to Juszczyk again. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
58, right over there.
Mitchell. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
And I know this quarterback. His instinct, he's going to want to go for it here on 4th and goal. I want to see if the rational heads on the sidelines prevail and they say this late in the game, let's get 3 in the lead. This debate is going to be fun.
The kick by Gold is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So, CD, maybe put a pin in that one as this game progresses. It's a field goal that gets them the lead here in the third, but, boy, you hate settling for 3 when you're that close to the goal line.
Well, it certainly pains me to say it, but I do think it was the right call. Now, if they lose, you and I both know that'd be one of the things that gets second-guessed. Why didn't you go for it on 4th and goal? But I know the mindset was take the points, get the lead. And, by the way, if they went for it and got stuff, they'd second-guess that, too.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. And again this time to the tailback. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
They'll fire one downfield for Fant. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big play that time through the air. 38 yards.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. And he'll give it here to his running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now Kaepernick. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Eric Armstead in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Here's 3rd and long. Kaepernick needing a big play to counteract the sack. They'll look to throw here. And the pressure gets to him again. Samson Abuka providing a little deja vu. Back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
Well, now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. And Myers able to knock it through, and that will tie things up at 6-6. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And, Charles, we've seen almost 3 full quarters now, and neither offense can really get it going. Neither has hit the end zone, and neither side seemingly can make that big play.
But the game hasn't been devoid of action because these two defenses, they've taken over and they've slugged it out. But I think you're exactly right. We're at that stage of the game now where one of these offenses, if they make a big play, that could be the difference.
And looking for Kittle, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules nervous about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. So it's a quarter that saw these two teams trade field goals here as we've reached the end of 3 quarters of play. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? They'll try to run this one in, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Seahawks on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Myers connects on the PAT, and they will take a 7-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. McLeod now on the return. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Let's rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try to find some targets in the open field downfield.
They'll run on 1st down. Mitchell. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. The Lance going to throw. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A big connection on that one. 35 yards. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Runs over it. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 77 yards on the ground for him so far.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Lance going to sneak it. Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. Only a few inches needed on the sneak. He didn't get it, and now it's 4th down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. That's caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, San Francisco. Deebo Samuel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Niners are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Oh, he didn't spike it. He faked it. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And Nick Bosa so quick on the outside. He gets in there to bring him down.
Nick Bosa had an outstanding freshman campaign in 2019 with a 9-sack season and was named Defensive Rookie of the Year. Went down with a knee injury in Week 2 last year, and the Niners' fortunes seemed to sag right along with it.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And they're facing a big 3rd down now in this tie ball game. Now Kaepernick. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 33.
Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mears used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Mitchell. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 87 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
On 3rd down, it's Mitchell. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Now a give right side. Mitchell. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he will dive trying to get the first down, but it looks like he's going to be marked down just short. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to almost certainly win the football game. And his kick is right there. It's good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And you know, in an era of cost-cutting and maximizing your roster, this is a club that does not skimp on special teams, and in these situations, it pays dividends.
And that's great vision by the organization. When the difference between winning or losing depends on who you have kicking the ball, would you rather have a street free agent out there or a solid pro like this? Answer's pretty evident to me.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking two plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. One final try for Kaepernick. We've seen this before. They still can't get it. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final.
Truthfully, we know you never been a factor. Well, honestly.